Hey man, first time watching you live. I was wondering what your opinion on early access games is, such as this one. I'm kind of tired of the fails and games that stay in early access for years. I can understand a lot. I think there's way more negatives to early access than there is positives. The theory of early access is sound. The theory behind it is absolutely sound. If it was, I love you too, Az. That's cool. The theory of developing a game and getting it funded as you continue and the game develops and grows from there is sound, and that sounds great in a perfect world. But we're seeing way too many games go into like early access or beta or some sort of funded project and either not materializing at all, and fuck your money if you donated, or we get stuff like Ark, which apparently is still in early access, but they've had paid DLC, microtransactions out of its arsehole, really kind of scummy tactics. So early access for a lot of things is simply a way of saying, pay for our game so we don't fucking have to. Pay for our game so we don't have to. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we'll just pull out. So I know people might be scared at this, but I you know, there's a part of me which is screaming that the gaming industry needs to have a proper regulatory board, and not a regulatory board that is paid off by Activision and EA and people like that. A proper, probably government-orientated registry board that looks at the business practices, as opposed, I'm not saying about content, I'm talking about the business practices of gaming companies, because it's Wild West. The gaming industry is just Wild West territory for exploiting money out of people right now. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse because the problem is the more scummy tactics that get introduced and the way that people lap them up still, the more people that lap them up, the more acceptable it becomes. That's why we've got Resident Evil, a 10-hour game, coming out with paid DLC a couple of weeks after launch. It's fucking bad. It's really bad. Now, this is early access, and I have paid for this. And this is the first early access game I have actually put money into. I've put money into, what's it called? Kickstarter. Because that's slightly different. They're trying to raise money to make a game. I've been happy with Conan in as much as I think it's got a great foundation. But to really kind of answer the question of my experience with early access, you've got to come back in 6 months' time and say, right, now what is Conan like compared to 6 months ago? Because this is my only example of something like this. But for the most part, and from what I've seen prior, early access is pretty scummy right now. Pretty fucking scummy. And they don't care. You know, don't for 1 minute think that any of these people give a shit about you complaining, me complaining. Like Blizzard. You think Blizzard give a fuck about what I say when I said it about their tactics? They don't give nah fucks. Because they're cashing paychecks. They're cashing big paychecks and they're loving it. So it's there's no morality in the gaming industry. It's money. And I think there's a difference between making a profit and being greedy. I think there's a huge difference between the two. It's no longer acceptable just to make a decent profit, a good profit. A tidy profit, that's no longer acceptable. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that economy. I don't think there's anything wrong with the economics of supply, demand, profit to the company. It's when profit turns to greed where the service that the company provides gets worse and worse, and the profits go higher and higher. Look, you just have to look at the presentation of the Switch to see that Nintendo, for all their family-friendly exterior, are trying to con you into buying the Switch. Nintendo are literally trying to con you into buying the Switch because they're releasing a console that has no software support. None. Fuck all software support. Zilch. By the end of this year, there will probably be, well, 2 main games on the Switch. Zelda, which is coming out at launch to make it look like it's got support, and Mario, which is going to come out at Christmas. And in between there's a whole lot of, well, there's not even a whole lot of nothing. There is a soupçon, a smidgen, a tiddle-widdle bit of nothing coming out. Splatoon 2. 6-year-old Skyrim. By the way, £60 a game. There is nothing. I'm cancelling my pre-order. I've already said I'm cancelling my pre-order for Switch. There's nothing coming out. And if you think, and if you for one moment think, well, you know, okay, they've got a great idea for a console, but it hasn't quite got the software yet, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because if they thought that, they'd be saying, well, we've got the console, we've got the idea, we've got how it develops, now we need to support it. We need the games. Why did the Wii U go fucking bang? No support! None! And it didn't bring anything new to the table. Great, I can hold a fucking TV screen in my face. Great, that's great. Look, great, look. I can play my game here while it's on the fucking TV. What the fuck is that shit? What the fuck is that shit? It's wrong. Nintendo have gone, let's make money off this console that we've got no support for. No support for at all. Couple of games in 12 months of any worth whatsoever. So if you think Nintendo is this family-friendly, we do great little cartoony games, we are family fun, bullshit! Bullshit! They are trying to fucking con you into buying a console which has no support and isn't ready to come out because it has no software support. None! But Zelda's coming out on launch, and that is the only hook. That's the only fucking hook they had. Right. I'll throw this in your face. Then you tell me I'm wrong. If you're thinking, well, you know, I don't think he's quite there yet. You take Zelda out of launch, and you put Zelda for release in September of this year. Now, please tell me what between now and September is coming out for the Switch. I'm listening. No, I'm listening. Put it in the comments. I'm listening. What is coming out between now and September for the Switch? No Zelda. Zelda's off the table. It's been pushed back to September. Argument, you know. So what's coming out? What's coming out? I'm waiting. I'm waiting to read your chat. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What's coming out? Splatoon 2. That's it. And that's niche. That's the only thing I would have accepted in there, Splatoon 2. You think fucking doing this with joysticks or fucking oh look. Haha, I'm pretending I'm on the phone with a joystick. You think that's going to keep people interested? for more than 5 fucking minutes? Yeesh. The Switch is a big fucking con device. It's the Nintendo fucking con. Now, if the Switch came out and they said, right, on launch, we've got Zelda. We've got Skyrim. Skyrim's not coming till September, October. But let's just say, for argument's sake, we play a different game. The Switch is coming out March 3rd. Zelda on release. Also coming out, by the way, on the Wii U. Skyrim is with it. 6-year-old game. We've also got Persona 5 coming in April. I don't know, like Minecraft. Let's say like Minecraft coming out on it as well. Let's kind of go there and something else. Then you'd kind of be like, right, okay, maybe the games, you know, for a launch, right, we've got Skyrim, but that could still be fun to play handheld. That could still be fun to play while I'm drifting off in bed. At least I don't have to have my PC or my console there. That's available straight away. Got my Zelda. That's going to keep me occupied for a little bit. When I finish those, then Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be coming out for it. That's probably going to take me a few weeks because that's going to, you know, be a relatively big game or so. And then I've got a couple of niche titles in there. Might want to check them out. Going into summertime, little bit of Splatoon 2 or whatever. I don't fucking give two shits. Maybe be interested in that because they are producing a steady stream of games. No! No! You have Skyrim, a 6-year-old game. 6-year-old game, nearly. Well, put it this way. It will be a 6-year-old game when it releases on the Switch. You can't even have a 5.5-year-old game ready for release on the Switch. Skyrim is one of the major games that they show off in the advertising for the Switch. And it's not coming out till September, October. Mario isn't coming out to November, December. And these are the games that they are showing off in the marketing of their product. Games which aren't coming for months. People aren't interested in that. They're interested in sure what's coming, but they're mostly interested in what is releasing with the console, what is coming out in the first queue of the console's life. That's what people are interested in. Not games which are coming out 9 months later. Not games which are coming out 6 months later. They're interested in release titles. They're interested in what's coming out in the first 3 months. Is this console gonna be supported? And when you only have one fucking game, Zelda, which is of any worth whatsoever to say, yes, this is coming out with this console, you are ripping people off. And that is what Nintendo are doing with the Switch. They are ripping people off. I went off on a big rant.